there YouTube, I am back with another video. I am going to apologise for the fact that I have not been uploading recently, and that's for multiple reasons. The fact that I didn't use my Abyss actors for links. As you can see here, I've started playing Cyberse, and that's because when I watched Brains, I fell in love with the show, and I connected with Yusaka a lot, and I really like the look of these monsters. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be playing my Abyss actors, but not as my main deck that's labelled as my main deck. Cyberse has taken that from them. But I also had some problems in my own personal health, in the fact of mental stuff, and I don't really want to get into that. And also sorting out college, which I managed to get in, which is pretty good. And I'll be going to college for 3 days a week, so that's going to take up my time just like school did, but I still have 2 days off, and I hope I can make more videos with my friends. That's if they're in the same days as me and stuff like that. But I'm going to give you the deck profile of my Cyberse. I've seen so many Cyberse deck profiles on YouTube, well, not so many, but quite a few, that just ran Cyberse, and they promised people that it worked. And when I tried those builds, they don't work at all. They run way too many monsters that are meant for normal summoning and not special summoning. I feel like this is probably one of the best builds for Cyberse that you can have right now. This was made on the 29th, so it's after the Mega Tin and everything. So Proxy Dragon is in this, and I'm just going to get into the profile and show you guys what's what. So to start off with, we run 3 Link Slayer. The reason we run 3 and not 2 and a Gofu is because he is now the only spell destruction we got in the deck. I was running Twin Twisters, but I really needed more draw power, and getting rid of Twin Twisters and putting a different card in really helped. So he is your main destruction, and a very good special summon, along with being a Cyberse monster. Next, 3 Backup Secretary, because she is a special summon for your Cyberse. The fact that she's a Cyberse as well is awesome, so have to run 3 of her no matter what. I don't care what anyone else does, you have to. I run 2 Stack Reviver. I don't get why people run 3. It's a once per duel effect. Yes, it can revive and help combos, but running 3 will brick very easily, no matter what. I don't recommend any more than 2. I run 2 Ram Clouder. The reason I don't run 3 is, again, it's a normal summon target. I needed more room for special summon targets, and you can tribute himself for his reborn effect, so I feel like at 2 he's fine. I don't feel like running any more, that's my personal thing though. Next, I run 2 Launch Commander, since he is a normal summon target, but his, if you get him in hand with File Dragon and you special summon him, he can just boost up your attacks. I believe you contribute himself for his effect, but if not, it doesn't really matter. You don't use his destruction that often, unless you get him past something annoying like Ancient Gear Chaos Giant and stuff like that. Next, I run the single Cyberse Wizard. I don't get why people run more of him. His effect's okay. That's it. It's not brilliant, since you can't attack at all apart from that one monster you target. Running him at 1, it's because he's a Cyberse, he looks cool, and his effect can help you sometimes, not all the time. I run 1 Draconet because he's a normal summon target. I did run 3, and that was incredibly bricky. Running 1 is absolutely fine because he's not essential anymore since we got Backup Secretary. I do run 2 Bitron though, so that if I draw 1 and have Draconet, I know he can summon from hand, but it's better to summon from deck because that reduces the amount of cards in your deck. And you can also get Link Spider's effect off to get another Bitron on the field, so it's just plussing more monsters. Next, I run a small little Perform Mage engine that I like to run because it works very well. 2 Perform Mage Hat Tricker. He special summons himself when there are 2 or more monsters in the field. This is not once per turn, so if you return it back to your hand with Firewall, you're off to the races. It helps because it's a level 4 as well for your rank 4 plays. And you run 1 Trick Clown because Trick Clown is very useful in the fact of his special summon back effect, and I don't need to explain this guy, he's just too good. I run 2 Tricky, and yes, this is questionable, but to be perfectly honest, he is very good in the deck. If you draw something like your Trick Clown in hand and you don't want to normal summon it and you want an extra monster, Tricky's perfect for that sort of play. If you have a dead spell in your hand, you don't want it and you want a special summon, Tricky's there. He's just in there for special summoning, and his discard effect helps you more often than you would think. And that's only because if you draw him with Trick Clown and Dandelion. Dandelion's there for your Foolish Barrel and your Tricky. If you draw Dandelion and Tricky, that's also a great combo. Tricky's there to unbrick you. And finally, one Spell Striker. I was thinking maybe Spell Strider, since you can get rid of Pendulum Scales, but that's not going to happen too often since it needs face-up spell cards. So I decided Spell Striker is a little bit better. And if you don't know what it does, you banish a spell from grave, special summon it. It's another special summon for the deck. That's your monster count. You run 23. I know that's a really awkward number, but it's what I need. It's the perfect amount of monsters that you need. I can't think of anything different to run. I was running Max C, but since he's at 1, you hardly get him. When you do get him, it's too late, and he was just bricking my flippin' deck. So I stopped running him, and I replaced him with Spell Striker, and that has helped me more than Max C. For our spells, we're running 2 Silent Universe. It's Silent Universe. For Link decks, it's pretty good. I'm running it because if your opponent doesn't get rid of it, you just get a higher attack. And then 1 Castle Link, because if you can't make anything else but Firewall and you want to move him down into the main monster zone, it's good for that. Nothing else really, that's why I only run 1 of them. Next, 2 Terraforming, don't need any more. Next, probably the best card I'd say in the deck when you activate it at the right times, 2 Scapegoat. This card, when activated and stuff like your opponent's end phase and you've not died, and you know you're not going to die, it's better for that. You've got 4 tokens out, that's for a free Firewall or a Link Spider and special summon something from hand, and get a Firewall pointing at the Link Spider for Firewall's effect. This card is way too good. I don't want it at 3 though, because I thought that would be bricky, and I think 2 is perfect. Next, we're getting into the draw cards. I run 1 Monster Recovery. You can replace this with another Pot of Desires, because I do run Pot of Desires, but I don't recommend that. Monster Recovery is there in case someone's going to banish something important like Firewall, and you want to return it back to the extra deck and reset a little bit of your hand maybe, because you still, if you return Firewall to the extra deck, you still get 2 draws. It's still being returned. And so, it's pretty good to do that, because technically it's a +1, but stuff like that will help you out quite a bit. I really like running this card. Next, the 1 Upstart Goblin. I run this in every single deck I ever build. I love this card just because getting it, you're technically running a 39 card deck. I just really like it. And finally for draws, Pot of Desires. This is the card that replaced Twin Twisters, and this card has unbricked me so much. Love it. I actually really like this as a card. It shouldn't get banned. If anyone says it should, it's not. It's got a good cost. It's a very fair card, to be honest, because you can be very unlucky and get rid of your really important stuff. But since we run multiple of certain things, you hardly ever run out of your own things to use for links. More often than not, you make your field, then activate Desires just to see if you can get more things off of File's effect. Finally for spells is Reasoning. No one has ever called this right for me yet. And Foolish Burial. Finally, we run 5 traps. 2 Call the Haunted. I don't run back to the front because of the fact that I want to summon my Link monsters back, and the thing is, back to the front can't summon Link monsters, and that's it. I definitely prefer Call the Haunted than back to the front. I run 1/3 Straits Barrier for an anime thing, and the fact that if your opponent activates a spell like Twin Twisters, you can then activate this because they control it for a small amount of time. It's really weird activation requirement, but this can help if you have it with Scapegoat first turn, since you could take no damage and then activate Scapegoat for 4 monsters for at the end phase. And finally, 2 the Phantom Knight's Brigandine. The reason I run this is because if we run a very low amount of traps, very rarely you will have traps in the graveyard to then activate this card the turn it's set, because its activation requirement is if you have no traps in the grave, you can activate it the turn it's set. It's a normal monster, so for Link Spider, and it's very good for the deck. Finally, our extra deck. So, for extra deck, you want about 6 tokens if you want legit tokens, because you'll be summoning a lot of tokens. And then we've got the Utopia package, because we can make it with pretty good boards like Honeybot Firewall and Link Spider with like lightning there. And the other rank 4 we play is Dark Rebellion, because Dark Rebellion is Dark Rebellion. He looks cool, and he's good. For Link monsters, we run 3 Link Spider, since you do run a lot of normal monsters, technically, like Brigandine, Scapegoat. Just, you need 3. He's very good in the deck. Then we go to our Link 2s. We've got 1 Proxy Dragon, because it's Proxy Dragon, it's Baby Firewall, and it can help you. I've not had a chance to test this card out yet, because I only just got it the day I'm recording this. Same as Pot of Desires, but I tried out Pot of Desires as like a face down card, so I put it in a sleeve like this and had it as Pot of Desires while I was testing. Then the other Link 2s is 3 Honeybot, because it's Honeybot, she's essential for the deck, and especially for some combos. You get 2 Honeybot like this, you're essentially got something I call the bot lock, where your monsters are nearly invincible, but if your opponent has something like Regeki and Dark Hole, that will completely destroy you, but other than that, bot lock is very useful. 3 Decode Talkers, since we don't have any of the other Code Talkers yet. I will be removing one for Encode, and so that's why we're on 3 at the minute, because we need as many Link monsters as we can get. And finally, 1 Firewall. If I could afford it, I would remove 1 Decode Talker for another Firewall, because I want to perform extra Link, but at the moment I can't. At least having 1 Firewall is fine. That does it for the deck profile though. I'm going to make a separate video than this one for combos or just a duel, because I did try making this video before, but when I tried showing combos, I didn't have Pot of Desires and stuff, and it kind of let down the deck. I got really bad hands. With Pot of Desires though, it's much more consistent. I've been drawing better hands. It's really amazing what changing a couple of cards. I added Brigandine in, and what changing a couple of cards though to a deck actually does to it. I will, if anyone in the comments of my small awesome fan base wants me to duel online, I will try dueling on Dueling Book, since Dueling Nexus doesn't actually have Link monsters yet. It's really annoying. I don't have Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. I might try and get it. But I will try dueling online. I did duel online earlier today and went against a guy. He quit after I made Firewall with 2 things pointing to him and him pointing to them, so I could return 2 things to his hand. He summoned like a few monsters, and I returned his most powerful ones to the hand, and he couldn't get rid of my field and quit. But that's the only time I've dueled online at the minute. I'm scared too, since I've really custom built this deck. I run a lot of cards you don't see in other decks this slight way, so I feel like it's my own custom deck in a way, and I'm very low confidence when it comes to things like that. But yeah, let me know if you want me to try that. I will give it a go. I will also try and get someone round to duel in real life. I might get Joey, since the comments in the video, you guys really enjoyed Joey in the video. And he plays Goki now, actually. He plays Blue Eyes and Goki. He actually is only 2 cards away from finishing Blue Eyes. He literally only has 2 cards proxied, and it's really awesome that he managed to do that. I might try and get someone else though, if they're free and Joey isn't. Joey is more likely to be free, because Joey's awesome. But I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Go have fun with this. It's more of a fun build. I wouldn't recommend going in comp, like any sort of competitive play with this deck, because I don't think it's good enough for that. I really would like to know if it is, if someone tries it, because I've not got the balls to try that. But like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in another video, hopefully a duel. It might be some Junkrat gameplay on Overwatch though. I've become a Junkrat main after the new update. I did play him every now and again, but now I adore the new Junkrat. But that will be it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.